Hey everyone, how's it going? Azren here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's video. Super excited to be here. Let's just dive right in, guys. First and foremost, I have a gift for you. My gift is a fluency jumpstart, a free fluency jumpstart. You will have free private lessons. The first one will be about learning best practices to become fluent. Second one is about getting an assessment. Third one is taking your first steps towards fluency. You'll also have some free self-study tools. I'll give you a resource bank, which is a starter kit of self-study resources, a fluency self-assessment tool, so you can self-assess your fluency as you progress. There's a level up tracker, which will allow you to log your study time. So you see how much time you spent, how you spent your time, and approximately how far or how much time you'll need to become fluent. And lastly, a fluency roadmap, detailed step-by-step instructions to reach fluency. There's a beginner level, intermediate level, and advanced level. I'm offering this for free right now, so if you're interested, let me know. There's a link in the video description box to claim this. If you're new to my videos and don't know who I am, hello, my name is Azren. I love learning languages. I speak English, I speak French, I speak Spanish, I speak Mandarin, and I speak Gujarati. I'm learning a sixth language right now. I'm the owner and the founder of the Calgary Language Nerds. I started this business almost 9 years ago from when I'm recording this. My tutors teach one-on-one lessons that lead to fluency, typically within 1 year, sometimes a bit faster. I love what I do for work. It brings me a tremendous amount of joy to help people reach fluency and provide tutors with meaningful employment. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about my guaranteed fluency program. I'll make this really quick. And then we'll jump into how to actually become fluent. We'll talk about how to reach this intermediate level first. Then we'll talk about how to reach an advanced level. Then we'll talk about how do we go beyond an advanced level. We'll talk about all three. First, the Guaranteed Fluency Program. That's the paid program in my business. I find that most people actually never reach fluency, primarily because there aren't any comprehensive fluency solutions. I mean, yeah, we have apps, we have books, we have podcasts and YouTube videos and traditional lessons, but they're all partial solutions. They move you forward like a little bit, but not all the way to fluency. And my program solves that issue. It is a complete and a very structured path all the way to fluency. So it does provide a solution to that problem. It also solves the motivation issue. A lot of language learners struggle with motivation. We're able to address that to a large degree. Some free gifts, we already talked about these, resource bank, level up tracker. We talked about these already, so we'll skip this. In my program, we learn all major skills. So you learn like pronunciation and grammar and listening and speaking, like everything it's very, very holistic. We learn everything. Although it's personalized, so if you prefer to focus more on conversation or more on something else, that's fine. Very personalized and measurable goals with accountability. So everything's highly personalized, measurable. We'll try and keep you accountable, really motivate you to stick with it. We'll do our best to do that and help you out. Clear fluency metrics, which is very unique. So we actually know what fluency is. It's highly objective. We've made it very, very measurable. You know where you stand at all times. You'll know what you mastered and you'll know what's left to learn at all times because we have these very clear fluency metrics. Expert one-on-one instruction. All of our lessons are one-on-one, very, very personalized. Also, as a fun fact, all my tutors are, in fact, fellow language learners. And so they really know what it's like to be in your shoes. Many of us are even polyglots like me, where we speak lots of different languages. And so we've shown success with language learning in the past ourselves as well. Flexible schedule, pretty straightforward. Learn in the morning, afternoon, evening. Got some flexibility, which is nice. And most importantly, fluency is guaranteed. We guarantee our results. You keep teaching you for free if you don't level up within 1 year. So if you need more extra support, some people need a bit more time, no problem. We will keep supporting you for free. So that's the Guaranteed Fluency Program. If you want to learn some more about that, feel free to reach out. I'll put a link in the video description box. And you can reach out. More than happy to tell you more about it. Now, let's talk about how to actually reach fluency. First and foremost, let's start from the beginner level. How do we go from beginner to intermediate? What are the steps we have to follow? Well, step one, block off 4 hours a week for language learning. You're welcome to start slower and like build up to 4 hours a week if you prefer. That's not a problem. Very, very normal, in fact. But you do eventually want to get to that 4 hour mark because it is the minimum to actually reach fluency, in my experience. Step 2, study pronunciation. Usually I say for about 2 months. You want to mimic native speech and get feedback on your pronunciation. We're going to watch some pronunciation videos or even take some pronunciation lessons. And lots of passive listening. Listen to the language in the background every single day. You do those 3 things, you're mimicking native speakers and Netflix shows, music, videos, right? You're watching some pronunciation videos, maybe taking some pronunciation lessons, you're getting feedback, you're listening to the language lots. You do all that, do that for a couple of months, your pronunciation will be in a very, very good place. Next, you want to study grammar. Again, I usually say for a couple of months if you're a beginner, right? There's some flexibility here, but that's a general guideline. Grammar for about 2 months. The most straightforward way to do that, buy a beginner grammar textbook or sign up for a course. Complete all the lessons and all the practice exercises. It won't make your grammar perfect, but it'll give you a good foundation. After that, we need to ramp up your vocabulary because you got great pronunciation now. You got a good grasp of grammar, but you don't know very many words. You don't know a lot. And the best way to increase your vocabulary, listen and read. That's your best bet. So we're going to watch videos and read texts that are at your level. Look up unfamiliar words and phrases. I look words up, not in Google Translate, although you can use it if you want. I use DeepL Translator. It's an app as well as a website, much more accurate than Google Translate. Google Translate tends to make some mistakes. Once we've done that, we're going to do some speaking and writing for about 4 months as well. These are guidelines, of course, not exact sciences, but it's a guideline. We're going to write about different topics at your level. You're going to get your writing edited and talk aloud about various topics, again, that are at your level. If you are using some of my free resources, so I told you here in the Fluency Jumpstart, I will give you if you do this Jumpstart, I will give you a free resource bank. So you'll have a starter kit of resources to use. You'll be good to go. You'll also get, well, all the other free resources too. So when you're going through this, when you're like, oh man, where do I find listening material? Where do I find grammar stuff? Where do I find all the stuff for all this? I got you covered. It's all in the resource bank. You are good to go. And of course, if you're taking lessons, if you're actually signing up for this guaranteed fluency program, which I told you about, if you're signing up for this, it's even better. You got a tutor who will just give you the stuff like, hey, your level's here. This is what you need. You're all taken care of. If you're already intermediate and you want to reach the advanced level, it's actually even more straightforward. It's actually very straightforward. First, block off 4 hours a week for language learning. Again, start slower if you want, build up to that 4 hours if you want to. But if you're really aiming for that fluent level, you will want 4 hours a week as at a minimum. The biggest thing for intermediate, the biggest thing is listening and reading. Listen, read, listen, read. Why? Because the biggest gap from intermediate to advanced, the number one gap is your vocabulary. You don't know enough words. Roughly speaking, to go from intermediate to advanced, the number one thing you have to do is double the number of words you know. Now, it's really cool. I will show you this tool. I have it over here. This fluency self-assessment is included. This is the, sorry, pop up here. In this free fluency jumpstart, which I told you about already, one of the tools is the fluency self-assessment. In the fluency self-assessment, looks like this. There is a downloadable tool right here to track your vocabulary. So you can actually see over time how many more words you're learning. Pretty cool, no? Another tool you can use for vocabulary assessment, it's an app. It's not one that I've developed, or I'm not really affiliated with it, but I like it. Link. Honestly, this app, this one here, gives you a more accurate vocabulary score than my assessment does. So Link is far more accurate than the self-assessment I've developed, but Link is not free. My vocabulary self-assessment is, and link. It's just not as it's just I love it personally. I use it all the time. The only issue is that it's a bit tricky. It's not the most user-friendly app in the world, and you have to use the app for all of your reading and listening. And it's not a bad idea. I actually do all my reading and listening in the app personally, but you would have to do it all in the app in order to get this super accurate vocabulary assessment. So anyway, that's that. So if you're going from intermediate to advanced, listening and reading is super, 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 super important. And then, of course, we need to do lots and lots and lots more speaking and writing. So we're going to keep writing about different topics at your level. You're going to keep getting your writing edited. And you're going to talk aloud about different topics at your level. By the way, if you ever want to get your writing edited, you're like, how do I get my writing edited? Okay, Tutor is definitely one solution. So if you're in the Guaranteed Fluency program, that's taken care of. If you're not, you have other options. They're not quite as good, but they're still good. One of them, if we go over here, is to use my grammar assessment instructions. So if you do this, if you follow those instructions, that will actually be a way for you to get your writing edited. It doubles as a writing edit and a grammar assessment. So you can use these instructions in my free fluency assessment. Again, if you want that free fluency assessment, sign up for the Fluency Jumpstart. You will get those free private lessons, the free assessment, a bunch of free self-study tools. You'll be fully set to go. Back over here. Now, let's say you're already advanced and you're like, man, I want to keep going beyond the advanced level. What do I do then? Okay, well, let me tell you. It's pretty straightforward. Block off 4 hours a week for language learning. We've said that many times throughout this video. We're going to go back to studying pronunciation. If you're advanced already, one of the big problems you have is your pronunciation is still not native. It's not perfect. You still have a lot of gaps in your pronunciation. So we're going to go back just like the beginners did. We're going to mimic native speech. You're going to get feedback on your pronunciation from tutors, from native speakers. You're going to watch pronunciation videos on YouTube or take pronunciation lessons and do lots of listening to the language in the background. You're really focused on nailing that pronunciation. We're going to do lots of listening and reading. Advanced learners still have a vocabulary gap and still lots of speaking and writing practice, although we have to really make sure it's at your level. For beginners, at your level means make it easy, easy material. When you're advanced, at your level means hard, like challenging stuff, because you're advanced, right? You're trying to push yourself beyond advanced. Therefore, you need to find stuff that's really, really hard. Now, again, in the Guaranteed Fluency program, we take care of that. We'll give you all the resources. We'll tell you what to do. We'll give you the videos, whatever's needed, we'll just take care of it. But if you're on your own, it's just a Google search away. And in fact, I've already solved it for you. If you're on your own and you're not taking the Guaranteed Fluency program, in the Fluency Jumpstart, I'm going to give you these fluency roadmaps, detailed step-by-step instructions to reach fluency. And there is, I'll show it to you, I have it open. There is an advanced one. So you can just follow the advanced instructions. There's advanced, there's intermediate, and there's beginner. 3 levels, depending on what level you currently have now. So that's today's video. You can do it, guys. You can reach fluency. It's really not, it's not rocket science, guys. It is not rocket science. It all starts, frankly, I think for a lot of you, it's going to start, I'll share my screen again. You know, for a lot of you, it's going to start with this Fluency Jumpstart, where you'll learn about the more best practices to become fluent. You'll get an assessment. You'll take your first steps towards fluency. You'll get all these different tools. You know, I'll just give it to you. Like, that's probably going to be what most of you need. And that's going to get you going on the right track, right? And then for some of you, if you're learning a language we offer, if we have space, et cetera, you can afford the rates, blah, 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 right? You know, the Guaranteed Fluency program, that's going to really be that extra stamp, that extra guaranteed stamp to be like, yes, you're going to get there. If you don't take it, no problem. You'll have everything you need. You can track your level. You have a fluency roadmap. You got fluency self-assessment. You got a resource bank. You got even some free lessons to get you going on the right path. I mean, you are good to go. Everything. I've actually taken me a long time to make all this, guys. Like, here it is, right here. gift to you. Let's go. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to sign up for that fluency fluency jumpstart, there's a link in the description box. Shoot me an email. More than happy to get started with you. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.